Home price across the country have been rising, but here in Maricopa County, something very different is happening. Some cities are going up, but some are barely moving, and a few are quietly softening. So the big question I keep getting from buyers and sellers in Chandler is our market stuck or is it just shifting? Today, I am breaking down exactly what's happening with home prices across Maricopa County, why Chandler looks different, and what it means if you are planning to buy or sell in 2026. With that, let's dive right into the information. But first, let's look at the national information for context, right? So nationally, home prices have grown moderately since 2024 right here. That is the time after a drop in price, right? So this is the home price right here. The chart here is the home price, and we see this is a percentage of growth. In 2021 and 2023, we see 2022, we see about 21% home price growth in those 2 years. After that, it's dropped down to about 0% or negative even. Then it has been increasing to all the way to 2004. Now it's actually going down to about 1 to 2%. Now, even though the charts show going down, but that's still a growth. Okay, home price still grow. I mean, anything that above the line here is still a positive growth. Just want to clarify that. Okay, some of you think this is a sale price. No, it's not. This is the percentage of growth. Okay, so even though it is 1 or 2% right now, it's still a growth. Now that might sound very small, the 1 to 2%, right? But that's actually a big shift from what we saw during the dynamic. Okay, like I said, 10 to 20% right here. So what does it tell us? It tells us that the market is actually not crash. It didn't crash. It didn't spike neither, but it's stabilizing. Okay, so this means the home price doesn't change much for the last couple years. Even in 2024, it's almost like 5 or 6% here, right? Meaning if you own a house like 100,000, okay, during 2024, you may, at the end, you may have 105,000 value. In 2025, you may have 106,000, okay, for that home price. The home price is stabilizing. It doesn't go crazily high, but it doesn't go crazily down as well, okay? A crash market is basically, you're gonna see a lot of negative. So that is the national housing market data, okay? That's its context. What about Maricopa County? Let's look at this, okay? Let's zoom into the Maricopa County. It's actually where getting very interested. So in front of you right here is the Comfort Market Index. And if you follow my channel for a while, you're gonna know that I watch the Comfort Market Index very closely because I think that's a very easy number to, where the market is going. If it is more than 110 points, that is a seller's market. From a 90 to 110, that's a balanced market, and less than 90 is a buyer's market. Now, you see here, the pink line is actually 2025. The interesting is that the 2026 line, okay, number one is very close to the number 2025, and look at the shape. It's pretty much identical to the shape of 2025 right now. So most likely, okay, well, this is nothing we can talk about the future yet, but looking at this is very interesting, and we see that it's going to be a downtrend towards June and July, and then it's going to go back up a little bit during the fall season of July, August, and September. Then it's go down again to November and go higher toward the end of the year. Okay, so it's very interesting to continue seeing this. Okay, to continue seeing this trend happening next, right? So we'll never know, but this is what we saw so far in today Comfort Market Index. Okay, so far we know that 2026 market may be the same as 2025 toward the entire year, right? Now, look at the price. This is another chart similar to this in the national chart, right? This is the line chart. This is in the bar chart. It also show you the change in price compared to the previous year. Starting in 2021, right? 30% increase, very high. 2022 is a down. The lowest is negative 10% change compared to the previous year. Now look at 2024. 2023, 2024, 2025 until now. Pretty much about 3.7, 6.7 is the highest. Sometimes it's go negative 0.8% right here, negative 1.1% right here, but pretty much around the 0%. Okay, around the 0%. So the home price also very, very close to what the national average is, right? National change is very flat and stabilized, right? So when the market stays flat this long, it usually means one thing: the buyer and the sellers are evenly matched. In other words, it's in the balanced market. That means neither side has a strong leverage, right? The seller cannot push the price too high. In the other hand, the buyers cannot negotiate massive discount neither. It doesn't mean that the buyers can come in and say, hey, so many houses available on the market, you're gonna drop like 20 or 30 or 50,000, even though sometimes I can do that, right? In some houses, right? You cannot just go randomly to any house and say that, okay? Similarly, the seller, even if you are in a hot market like Chandler or Gilbert, right? You cannot just put crazily high amount of home price that you want, okay? It has to be in the balance. That's what we call a balanced market. And honestly, those are pretty rare for the last several years, okay? So this is actually a very good news for both the buyers and the seller. In this situation, it's good news in a way that, for the buyers, more houses available for you to choose from, and you still have the negotiation power. And in this situation, the buyers do need to negotiate and do not just go to the house at any price, without looking at the number. The seller is the same situation. If you want to sell it fast, if you want to sell it the highest and top and best value, then you have to be reasonable in price. So that is the Maricopa trend. What about a city? At each of the level in front of you right now, okay, is the color map chart, and it's by range. And you see that the more orange here in the Fountain Hills and the Scottsdale area, those are the area that most likely have a higher end price, right? The 800 to 900 is around that Fountain Hills, right? South of Scottsdale, north of Tempe, right? And Chandler and Gilbert is about like 400 to 600. So you see that the real mix of home prices across the county. So it's so that Maricopa is not one market, right? We're talking about the country. We're talking about Maricopa. Now we're talking about each individual cities. Maricopa is not one market. It has a dozen of micro markets within it. Every cities behave differently. Some area with new construction and lots of inventory are softer. We're talking about area like, Buckeye, where the home price is about 300 or 400, maybe Surprise as well, 300 to 400, Gold Canyon as well, right? Those are the area that would have a lot of inventory. Even here in the center of Maricopa, like Mesa right here, area here, the reason is that there's plenty of inventory here, right? Or maybe Glendale area here, home price is about 300 or 400 easily. Okay, some area with limited listing are tightening. We're talking about like this area of Gilbert right here is like 500 to 600 versus this area right here is about 400 to 500 only, right? Down here a little bit of Chandler area also have 500 to 600. Those have limited listing, okay? And then Chandler, okay? Right now, most home at Chandler is still about 400 to 500 price range depending on the neighborhood and on the size and on the upgrade. We're talking about like different area within different market within Chandler area as well. That range has stayed surprisingly consistent over the past several months, however, okay? 400 to 500. And that tells us something important. It means demand here hasn't disappeared yet, okay? It just become more selective. Buyers are not rushing anymore. They are analyzing, they are comparing, and they are negotiating. So the seller, you do, even in a hot area, like I said, even if you are in a hot area of Chandler, you do still need to price it correctly with the condition and location of your house, okay? So that is very important to look at. But why is Chandler so different? So there are a couple reasons. We have job. Okay, it usually it's 5 reasons the Chandler market is so different: job, school, development area, development planning, local amenities, the availability of local amenities, and also the inventory level. Okay, Chandler has a very strong combination of all 5. They have job, they have good school, public, private, and charter school. Okay, a lot of development activities in this. Planning to improve the area, a lot of public park, a lot of, library park, a lot of, public amenities. Even the downtown area also right now go under renovation to make it look better. Inventory level, Chandler does not have a lot of, there's not crazy amount of inventory in Chandler, right? So that's the reason why keeping the price is still higher, okay? That tends to stabilize, these factors right here tend to stabilize the price when the broader market slows down, okay? So instead of sharp increase or sharp drop, Chandler often moves sideways until the next change start. Okay, meaning the Chandler has been the top on the comfort market index table for so many months. Okay, where other cities may have a drop in price, Chandler still stay strong. Okay, so what does that mean for both the buyers and the seller? Okay. If you are the buyer, in general, you are in the window where prices are not running away from you, okay? It's actually very stable, and it gives you a time to make smart decision as a home buyer right now, okay? This could be the very, opportunity, very unique opportunity for several years, because if you recall, before the COVID, even like during COVID and before COVID 2019, right? The buyer has to chase the market, and it's really difficult for them to select the right house in a short amount of time. Right now, you do have time, and you do still have somewhat negotiation power in some area. If you are the seller, pricing is still super important, because like I said, the buyer has more options, so they take time to evaluate the options. You have to present your home so that they can feel impressive right away, and you have to have the right price to show to impress the buyers right away, and so that they can make an offer right away. Okay. In the fast market, you can overprice and still get offer, but in this market, the flat market, pricing correctly from day one is everything. Okay, so I know a lot of headlines make it sound like the housing market is doing one thing everywhere, right? Meaning every single market is crashing, right? But the truth is this: real estate is always local. And right now, here in Chandler, the story isn't dramatic, it's strategic. Why do I say that? If you want a custom breakdown of the neighborhood, and the price range, reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to send you a local customized market update for that specific neighborhood, that specific price range, so that you can have a strategic planning in terms of making offer, in terms of seeing houses. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching today's episode. Bye-bye.